are now tuned in to the world's greatest. Tonight is the night. Bright lights, hype crowd, everything to throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list, candles, slowly burning to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We're staying climbing all up in camp boxes. Every climbing, now we on top. It's not something you get, it's just something we got. 'Cause I don't know what you know, if you know we playing or not. Tonight, lights flashing.
Episode 3, my friend. We are back with the Squared Circle here on Spreaker.com. Also on iTunes. Hello, Max. How are you?
I'm doing quite well this evening. How are you, my friend?
It's been an okay week in WWE.
Not spectacular?
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunately a hangover of not a pay-per-view. I called NXT Respect like a mini pay-per-view.
Yeah, something like that.
NXT TakeOver in its own respect should be pay-per-view material.
Oh, God, yeah, easy.
But yeah, NXT TakeOver's over, and it's kind of like a hangover moment of where do we do from here? So
Where do we go? What is life?
we will talk about Monday Night Raw. We will also take a look back at NXT TakeOver, or NXT from a couple days ago. Can it just be NXT TakeOver, please? Just over and over and over again?
I wouldn't be offended by this in the slightest. Be okay. It's like, oh, you get sick of it after a while. You severely overestimate my ability to get sick of NXT.
Yes, and then we will take a look at Hell in a Cell coming up in 10 days.
Ooh,
So-
it's getting close.
Yeah, why don't we start out with Monday Night Raw? You know, I've read articles over the last couple weeks about Monday Night Raw's ratings, and it's just, they're abysmal. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in the material that they put on Monday Night Raw lately, it's just been not very good. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
I will love WWE to the day I die, but it's sometimes...
It's tough love. It's very, very excessively painful tough love.
Yeah, so we start out with Kane on the phone with the Authority, who apparently was on some plane somewhere. Do we know exactly where they were?
I don't know. I think honestly they were on the road, probably halfway down Plot Convenience Avenue.
Well, I wonder if they were coming back they were on a layover flight, because they were coming back from Saudi Arabia, I think. They were in Saudi Arabia most of
Really?
WWE was this
I didn't
last
know.
week.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, WWE Live was over in Saudi Arabia. That I didn't know we went there.
I mean I knew we went there. I'd heard it's especially right now with the whole the Divas Revolution. That's a little odd pick because they're really not keen on the female performers performing over there.
I doubt that the Divas went over, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard of people hating John Cena. I wouldn't want people to hate John Cena over in Saudi Arabia.
No. It's like someone who's going to chant Cena sucks or holds up a if Cena wins we riot sign. That's one thing. Someone starts chanting, Cena sucks or something the equivalent over there, maybe get John Cena out of there.
Yeah. But yeah, Kane is talking to the Authority. They're getting on a plane, trying to make it to the end of Monday Night Raw. It doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
It doesn't.
They teased that they were going to be there at the end of the show, and I really thought they were going to come out during the main event, which we'll get to in a little bit.
It's one of those things, if you're not actually going to do it, why bother? Why deal with this kind of transparent who's on first thing with the phone?
Right. And so...
The drama and suspense of who's on the other end of the line.
Corporate Kane is in charge of Monday Night Raw again. It's almost like SmackDown. Corporate Kane is always in charge, and the Authority is never at SmackDown. So,
and remember, they aren't supposed. In reality, in this story, they're supposed to not be able to trust him, but they're going to let him run their multi-million-dollar television programs literally back to back twice a week.
Yep. So Kane decides that he's going to make a main event with WWE World Heavyweight Champion Mr. Seth Rollins against Corporate Kane in a lumberjack match. By the way, please excuse the sirens. There's something going on behind us. We're not
Swear to God, it wasn't me.
Yeah, it's Demon Kane coming after us.
Oh, clearly.
So Kane makes the main event, a lumberjack match with him and Seth Rollins.
And that goes I hate this. I hate to say it in a way that kind of goes exactly how you'd expect it would.
Yeah, unfortunately, I listen to our podcast quite a few times during the week. And I listen to see if there's anything we should change, anything we should add, anything I need to fix, And how many times I've said the word, it ends exactly how you would expect, or something happens the way you would expect it to do. I've said it so many times over the last 3 weeks, it's starting to sound like an old record. So,
easily.
Yep. Monday Night Raw will start off officially with the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, which, we haven't seen much of him lately. And, we've seen him against the Wyatt family, but other than that, that's about it.
He's kind of been he's been a background fixture of a couple other things going on.
Yeah, so he would come out to the ring and say what did he say? The asylum, or the
lunatics are running the asylum.
Thank you. Which in of itself is a very good line, especially with, the whole lunatic asylum kind of shirt that he has. I kind of like that line.
He starts doing his spiel. This draws out the mighty Randy Orton.
I hear voices in my head. They're telling me that
to go
Raw's
to bed.
Gonna suck. Oh, God. But,
they have just sort of this sort of really boring, passive-aggressive verbal sparring match for a little while.
Honestly, I love the both of them, but when they're in the ring together...
It was just... Well, I mean, it kind of just boiled down to, well, I don't trust you, you don't trust me, we need to go fight these guys. Why? No, really, why are we fighting together? I have no idea. It's probably to set up a singles match later. You think they could just, have us fight each other? That would make sense.
And wouldn't you know it, to break up the most boring promo I've ever heard, I was actually happy to see the New Day come out. And that is saying something. So
for you, yeah.
Yeah, especially for me. So,
but yeah, they come out.
And, they would, be like, oh, why so down and everything, and you need to work together, and so we're better than you. So Kane comes out in the Megatron as the almighty God. Oh, make a match. Prove that you are better than Orton and Ambrose. Oh. So we have a tag team match against the New Day versus Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose.
I mean, and I like the idea behind it. I like the psychology behind it. That idea of, the two singles guys who don't get along, just thrown together. They're kind of getting stomped by, the heel team that, is a team. But I
hated this match.
How much am I supposed to really care?
Not much.
I mean, I like the New Day, but it's kind of like, and I like their promos, but they come out and they start running them down. It's just kind of, what do you guys have to do with Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton? And why are you guys wrestling now? What?
I've said this before.
Did I miss? Did two pages stick together?
I've said this before. I hate these kind of matches where there's no storyline for this match. So they literally crammed Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton versus the New Day down the universe's throat.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was no build up to this fight, really. There's no storyline between the five of them at all, really, other than the New Day, I think, may have did something to Randy Orton. That's about it.
Yeah.
So, Kofi Kingston would push Randy Orton mid-RKO into Dean Ambrose, and then Kofi would roll up Randy Orton for a weak pin, and
there you go.
That's the end of the match. And
you got a former world champion, you got the current tag team champions, 1/3 of the Shield, and the best we can get is...
Yeah, the best we can get is, he pushed Randy Orton mid-RKO into somebody, then rolled him up for the win.
All I can think about is that time that, I don't know, maybe you saw this one. Seth Rollins went for, the curb stomp, and Randy Orton just kind of stepped straight up and RKO'd him to death out of midair.
During WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's almost like Randy Orton's really capable of this really amazing moments with that move.
Yeah, Randy Orton can do some insane crap in the ring. You have to get him to do it. And the fact that the writers at WWE and Monday Night Raw are putting him in this bullcrap match, it's
nothing.
It pains every single fan to see Randy Orton this low. You know, he's first match,
He's just treading water.
low card with Dean Ambrose against The New Day.
And I would argue that everyone involved deserves better than this. And I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be complaining about it this hard because, I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't an awful match or
Right.
an awful segment. I mean, there was still...
We'll get to another bad match later in the show. But so that match ends. Is there possibly some bad blood between Orton and Ambrose prior to Hell in a Cell? Because they're going to be at Hell in a Cell that's just released. They're going to be the pre-show match against Braun Strowman and Luke Harper.
Wow, not even on the main card.
That is sad.
That just...
The pre-show match, I'm sorry, I mean this in no disrespect,
Oh, no.
but the, superstars like, the Lucha Dragons, or, some other, you could even make a case that Rusev lately deserves to be on pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
The pre-show is meant for, it's almost like a bathroom break.
Back in the day, it was just a dark match. It was a
Right.
match that they didn't even bother to film. These days, they just film it because it's like, oh, that's right. If we throw an extra one on there and treat it like it's extra, people will, care a little.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be some bad blood between them come next Monday in Dallas before Hell in a Cell?
I don't know if that's the right question. I think the more appropriate question is, will I care? But I guess maybe. Who
Yeah, they'll have to
knows?
really pump up this match for me to be
Oh,
interested.
God, big time.
Yeah, so we move on to our first Divas match of the night, and I say first because we'll get to the whole Divas thing later.
This isn't your hill to die on just yet.
Oh no, we're gonna get to it later. I have a strongly worded thing about the Divas Revolution.
All right.
So it's Nikki Bella versus Naomi, which on paper sounds like an okay match.
I mean, on paper. I mean,
Not on TV.
No, not at all on TV.
What was really funny about prior to this match, they showed a great video package with with Sasha Banks from NXT TakeOver
Oh,
Respect.
God, that was so beautiful. That was wonderful.
Yes, and the crowd is chanting, "We want Sasha," and then the bell rings, and then Naomi and Nikki Bella are in the ring.
And
What the hell?
I mean,
You pump up the crowd with a Sasha Banks video package from NXT TakeOver Respect, arguably the match of the decade.
and nothing.
And you have her sitting on the sidelines while Naomi is in the ring with Nikki Bella.
Now, to be fair, I'll give them credit. They did have, the other Bella twin, Robo Bella, kind of climb up there, and do this. I find it really funny that she can't even sound like a normal human being when chanting, "We want Sasha."
We want Sasha! Oh, God.
that was-
She said it at least 7 times, and I had to turn down my
I know, like-
TV. It was so
like a
loud.
screechy robot, but then all of a sudden, they call Adrian Neville the man that Gravity forgot. Well, she was the gal that Gravity remembered because, Sasha just comes up behind her and she just dropped. And I don't know about you, but
I was so happy to see
deep
that.
inside, my heart went pitter patter.
Yes.
But it was just so that was something, and I mean,
That was probably the highlight of the match, to be honest
oh yeah,
with
I mean,
you.
I don't really hate this match or think it was even bad. It was just one of those things where, again,
It was a filler match.
yeah, and you could kind of tell. And
They needed to pass the time between the tag team match and the impending U.S. Open Challenge with John Cena.
It's just, and I mean, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with a match that's just there to fill time. But sometimes I just think of, the Nitro days, and it's like, yeah, they were using people like Dean Malenko wrong, but they would have him like burn the barn down for the buffer match. And it's like, maybe there's an idea to this. Maybe the filler matches don't have to make me want to, rip my eyes out from boredom.
Yeah, so that match, really nothing to it. Nikki Bella wins with a... Max, you want to say it this time?
Rack attack.
She wins with a rack attack. 1, 2, 3, the bell rings, the match is over. Yay, let's move on.
Thank you, God.
It's getting to that point where you see it's reverting to what it used to be.
but for almost different reasons.
Yes, so like I said,
Before it was boring, but now it's just getting tedious. Like it's that kind of boring that wears on you.
oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, I have a feeling.
So the next match is the U.S. Open Challenge with John Cena. And who comes out? I'm here to show the world, Dolph Ziggler. All right.
It's like, okay.
This was a really good match. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sorry. I was on the edge of my seat during this match. This
yeah.
was, one of those matches where the last half hour, 45 minutes bored the hell out of me. Had this match not been where it was, I literally would have turned Monday Night Raw off, and we would have had half the material we have for today's show. Yeah. So,
I mean, I definitely had my whole, I wonder who's going to win this one. But, I mean, sometimes that's fine. This was definitely an opportunity where I'm like, you know what? If you can burn the place down, go right ahead. I don't care how it ends. Oh, look at that. You burn the place down.
right.
Kudos. 5 stars.
Honestly, a couple times during this match, I thought Dolph Ziggler was going to win. And that's the kind of match that I like. Because, we still don't have a confirmed match for Hell in a Cell. You and I were talking before the show. There's a website I follow called smarkoutmoment.com. They follow everything WWE.
Yeah.
And they're talking about predicted matches for Hell in a Cell. The only one that's still under predicted and not confirmed is the United States Championship. And we were talking about this. They are predicting John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev, a triple threat match. I can't see you right now. I can feel just the anger and the Oh, Rusev, we'll get to him too.
Rusev crush.
Oh, Rusev in big trouble.
Oh, maybe a little bit. Oh, where to next?
That match was, like I said, really good. John, but the only thing that bothered me about that match is Ziggler kicked the crap out of him the entire match. And he got up John Cena got up like nothing was wrong, hit his finisher for the win.
Oh, of course.
You and I both share a hatred for that.
That whole absorb all the damage, just like act like you're getting murdered
A
for
DDT to the concrete and come back to pin Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett for the win.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're still bitter about that.
maybe a little bit. It's just, I get it to an extent. You want to have the guy look strong, or you want to have them, look victorious.
Right.
And you can always just go, oh, well, it's wrestling. It's not, it's scripted. Well, then what's the point? What's the point of that match? What's the point of the talking? That's why we like NXT.
Right.
That's why I like Lucha Underground. There's that idea, but
The funniest
Even
thing about this whole thing was Cena during the match. I don't know if you caught it. Cena, he grabbed a mic right before the match started, and apparently before the match there was a proposal.
yeah.
And this is an actual real life thing. This this was something that they weren't expecting. The funniest moment was when John Cena said, "Congratulations, what a beautiful engagement. We're so happy for you." Oh, John, Nikki Bella somewhere is crying her heart out. Do you know the story behind that?
No, I've
John
heard-
Cena, on multiple occasions, has told Nikki Bella he doesn't want any kids and he doesn't want to get married. And he does this...
Keep it classy, John Cena.
He does this whole thing. He grabs the mic and he congratulates these two on their beautiful engagement. And all I can
Wow.
think is, Nikki Bella. Oh, honey, I'm so
That
sorry.
is hard. That is pissing in her breakfast cereal after you slap the spoon away. Just what?
Dolph Ziggler, she might be a bachelorette soon.
She might be giving you a little bit of that wandering eye.
Oh my god. And then
That is harsh.
and the other funny thing is the universe can't concentrate on the match. They're all congratulating the guy and the woman. So during the match, John Cena kind of stops and turns around and starts clapping again at the couple.
Yeah, that was just.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I understand it. I get it. I guess it's just one of those things that you wouldn't. I hate to be that person. I hate to be a jerk, but it's like, dude, you wouldn't propose to your girlfriend in the middle of the movie theater during the movie. You wouldn't, like you. I don't know, you go to a theatrical performance and it's the dead center of like Hamlet Act 2. You're not going to, suddenly bust that ring out. It's just, I don't know. Wait for when they're setting up for the commercial, so that way Cena's not, making his girlfriend feel like shit. But, I mean...
Hamlet 2? You couldn't think of something better than Hamlet 2? It's a good reference. I like it.
Thank you.
You want to take a trip to Dudleyville?
Oh, why not? Haven't been there in a while.
Because, you and I have a strong hatred for jobbers matches.
What?
This is a clear jobbers match between the Dudley Boys and the Ascension, who we have not really seen in a Monday Night Raw match in weeks. No. We've seen them back on NXT. That's saying something.
For about a hot minute.
Right.
Even then, it's just kind of like... Yeah, and it was just kind of, this is where we like wrestling.
I think
we go over there.
I think we last saw them during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Weren't they in the Classic?
I want to say they were.
That's where I thought I saw them.
The fact that we can't pinpointing it, though, is
that's the sad part.
I mean, I've never been a fan of them personally, but they were the longest reigning NXT Tag Champions, and now I'm glad they still exist. But this, sort of like, okay, the Dudleys are going to be in a tag team match against, this is going to be over quick.
Well, we have a confirmed Hell in a Cell match. The Dudley Boys versus the New Day for the title belts.
I thought maybe it was me like, okay, you said that right after the Ascension and...
Oh, God, no. Are you kidding? I wouldn't watch the tag team match.
It's Monday Night Raw. I don't leave any... I wouldn't put it past him.
Good point.
I mean, I was like, the Dudleys are going to be going up against, the New Day, defending the tag titles. Oh, that sounds cool. And the Ascension's going to be thrown in the mix. This really is why we can't have nice things.
I hope that the third time is the charm. I swear to God, if the Dudley Boys lose in a disqualification again, I will come on this program and I will declare Vince McMahon a dead man.
Now, hold on. What if the dream comes true for you and the Dudleys lose clean?
Oh, if they lose clean?
Yeah, somehow.
The entire WWE universe would riot if the Dudley Boys lose clean to the New Day. Oh. What do you mean, no? No. They are the 9-time WWE Tag Team Champions.
Oh, God, that place would be lit on fire.
Oh, my God. The place would riot.
Oh, it'd be kind of beautiful for about 5 minutes. For about
5 seconds.
No, like the first full minute, be like, ooh, those flames are really pretty. And then you remember they're real.
So this match, Dudley Boys versus the Ascension, clear jobbers match, a quick match, 3D, 1, 2, 3. That's it. On Victor. Victor takes a 3D, 1, 2, 3, ding, ding, ding.
Hey, at least he still got a job.
Do you want to move on to the next match? Because you and I aren't going to be happy about this next match. Cesaro and Neville versus Sheamus and King Barrett. They brought back the King gimmick. As if they'd been listening to this program.
They are trying to hurt us specifically.
I'm not. I saw the crown, and I'm like, no, this can't be happening.
Break a little inside.
It hurt me. I hate the King gimmick. I always will. I hope that it goes away very quickly.
I mean, if they could have just done anything with it, it's sort of like, okay, you know what? Wade Barrett. Bad News Barrett's he's won the King of the Ring. He's going to be, he's going to do the whole heel King thing. All right, this is going to be all they have done. Well, he says King a lot. Oh, God, stop. Just stop.
If I hear all hail King Barrett, at least he didn't say that.
Oh, God. We still have to put up with on commentary the Royal Bullhammer Maggle. It's like one of these days I'm just going to reach through my television and throttle JBL and scream at him. His name is pronounced Michael. There aren't G's in it.
I remember the one time the King, Jerry Lawler, called Mike JR. And everybody kind of froze like, JR?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, man.
Yeah, commentary needs some love, too. I think they need to get rid of JBL.
We don't need
everything
JBL.
Needs a whole...
Sometimes you just need a fresh start. Fresh coat of paint. Maybe that fresh coat of paint starts with getting rid of JBL.
But, this match brought together a team I think has some solid chemistry. Cesaro and Neville.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, especially with Tyson Kidd out for God knows how long. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Yeah. I know you didn't mean it. We all love you anyway. But Cesaro and Neville, you've got Cesaro who can bench press anything, and Neville who apparently weighs 9 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... part of me, deep down, oddly enough, kind of wants to see them do like their own version of like the Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy like rocket launcher thing, just because I'm pretty sure, someone's going to get atomized if they did that. But
and Cesaro gorilla pressed Neville onto King Barrett and Sheamus outside the ring. That was cool.
that was
I'm
cool.
sorry. I saw Cesaro pick Neville up. I'm like, there's no way he can do it.
No.
Sure as hell. He throws him over the ropes and into him. So,
Beautiful.
other than that, this match, not a lot of, that's the thing. These matches this week were not.
It was very much,
there was nothing
wrestling's
out of the ordinary. Yeah, wrestling's happening. That's about it. So,
which, I mean, that's fine, like, once or twice in a entire show, but when the entire show almost is just sort of, wrestling's happening.
yeah. So, Cesaro would be kind of laying on the second rope. He had just got hit by Sheamus from some move. I forgot what it was.
I can't recall.
And I swear, JBL said the Royal Bullhammer, and it's the Bullhammer, JBL.
Call it the Bullhammer.
Just call it the Bullhammer.
Please.
Take away his crown. He won't be that sad. He won't.
He won't. He probably, in fact, I personally feel that crown may actually, in fact, be cursed and would thus explain his career trajectory. So he might actually pull a Shawn and get his smile back.
Give him back his Bad News Barrett shirt. He'll be happy. I promise.
I know I will be. And then, what you could do? You could just brighten up my whole year, return that podium. I would stop complaining about Raw for like at least 10 whole minutes.
There you go.
But anyway.
So then we come to Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Didn't we have this match last week? No, it was, yeah, we did.
My entire reaction to this match is just, what the hell are you people doing?
It's a preview to Hell in a Cell, my friend. I'm sorry.
I know, but it's just, okay, I get it. You want Braun Strowman to look strong and to maybe even win, and, is Roman Reigns going to be able to pull it out at Hell in a Cell? Then, you know what? Actually, just commit to having Braun Strowman annihilate him.
Yeah, don't
Don't
I understand.
protect people. Oh, you got a count out. No, I can't. What are you people doing? What are you doing?
Right. And this whole thing with Roman Reigns, yes, they're setting up Hell in a Cell, but put him in a match that, doesn't look bad even on paper.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman,
That could work.
yeah, if you hadn't planned it poorly.
Yeah. It's really simple. They start out, maybe it's a little even at first, and then one of them kills the other.
Right.
I mean, it's just one of them basically, it's two big old monster guys. One of them's gonna, get the clinch in first, and when that happens, someone goes unconscious and loses.
There should be no difference from Braun Strowman either in the ring or outside the ring. You know what I mean? In the ring, Braun Strowman apparently is God. But as soon as he steps outside the ring, he loses all his powers.
Well, it's kind of like, why the hell does Braun Strowman, a man whose name might as well literally is Braun Strongman, why does he need help from Luke Harper? Why does he need the assist from Luke Harper? Like, this is a guy who chokes people out by casually lifting them up, and the sheer, mass of evil that is his bicep just crushes their windpipe. I don't know. But it's just,
Monday Night Raw is looking for a way to get their ratings up, especially with Cena gone for the next 2 months. This isn't the way to do it. The numbers from Monday Night Raw last week started at 3.82 million viewers. I don't know what that equates to in actual ratings.
I'm not off the top of my head now.
They lost 800,000 people by the end of the show. That is saying that you are doing something very, very wrong.
Oh man, that is hard.
It's brutal, especially for
That's
you and I.
killer.
We have to watch it.
It's not even because of the podcast. It's
Yeah,
just,
no,
I
it's
mean,
just
I mean, at this point, I've been watching it, 23 years. It's sort of one of those things where, I can't just not. It's something's part of your life. That
Even if
long.
I'm doing something on Monday night, I will go back and watch. I have a way to watch it on the internet.
Yeah.
I'll go back and watch it. It'll be 1:30 in the morning, sure, but it's like not an addiction, but I have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's not interesting, but I have to watch it. So Roman wins via countout, which I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention to the count, which makes it even worse. Because all of a sudden Roman hops back into the ring and I hear ding, ding, ding. I'm like, what just happened?
And the weird thing is, usually I'm the one who's all, you know what? Why do we only give the countouts, to the heels? I mean, come on, it's a legitimate form of winning. You just beat someone into the dirt so badly they couldn't get up for 10 straight seconds.
Right.
That's huge. I have now discovered why people hate them, and the reason for that, at least for me, is this godforsaken finish. This finish might as well have just clubbed a baby seal in front of me for how angry it made me. I just unreasonably, I threw up, it was just a pillow for crying out loud, but I threw a pillow across the room, hit the TV, and I'm just,
Yeah, so he wins via countout. That's the end of the match. We move on to the next match, which is interesting.
Oh, is
because
this
you
it?
don't.
Have we reached Mount Doom?
Not yet.
Oh.
We're talking about the other thing. You and I were talking about this on the way here.
Oh.
Our next match was Ryback versus Rusev. Rusev loses cleanly. Do you know why?
Because Ryback's a better competitor?
Because Rusev and Lana are now married in real life.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean,
Which breaks kayfabe, pissing Vince McMahon off to a level where his ears turn red. So they completely abolish the 8-month-long storyline with Rusev, Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler, and Lana.
See, and just my only question is,
And I think it might not be 8 months. It's a little
Something
shorter
like
than
that,
that. But
but my question is this is 2015. It's not 1975. It's not 1985. It's not even 1995.
right.
So, just like every movie, and TV show, and video game, and anything else like that, we know that it's scripted. So we know that these are stories that you're telling us.
Right.
I didn't realize that in order to be boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife on screen, you also had to be married or at least going out in real life. Or if you are going out, we can separate.
Apparently
fantasy
not.
from reality.
Not only did Vince McMahon and the writers have Rusev lose cleanly to Feed Me More Man, they had Summer Rae come to the ring, show the article from TMZ,
Wow.
on the Jumbotron, and dump Rusev in the ring.
I actually will admit. I will admit this. I skipped this. As soon as I saw Ryback versus Rusev. I didn't change the channel, but I left the room. I had something else I could. I could have taken care of it during commercial break. I was just like, you know what? No.
Extra
So
long commercial break.
Yeah, I had to find out about a lot of this actually Tuesday afternoon, and I think if I had actually been watching this when it happened, I'm pretty sure I would have stopped watching that episode. This just really.
You have reduced Rusev from who just 7 months ago was unbeatable. He was not defeated in WWE.
Oh, hell, nobody.
His first loss was at WrestleMania, and now he is losing cleanly to Ryback. I'm sorry, no disrespect to Ryback.
But
He just came off a title run. He's I get it, he's number one contender, but nobody else is contending for the Intercontinental Champion.
yeah, it's just I don't.
The storyline and the bookings for Hell in a Cell, God, I hope Survivor Series is going to be good. Because you've got Cena gone from Survivor Series, and he's usually in the main event for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Last year with Team Cena versus Team Authority, that honestly was my first match. Actually watching a pay-per-view.
Like, has it happened?
Right. as it happened. So I watched Team Cena versus Team Authority, and it was exciting.
Oh, yeah, that
People
was
can
fun.
hate Cena all they want.
It's still a fun match.
Yeah, and he's the face of the entire brand. People can argue with me about this,
But
but
there's rationale for it.
right.
But he's not there now, so it's just, well, what do we do? Well,
I want to see the Four Horsemen. We've talked about this, or the four horsewomen. Excuse me.
oh, yeah.
I want to see that Survivor Series match. That would be an amazing match. You've got Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, bring up Bayley for Survivor Series. You've got to do something. She's fresh off her Iron Man match.
I don't know.
Booking's going to be interesting over the next month.
Oh,
Going into Survivor Series.
Interesting. That's a good word for it. Anyway.
So the next match, we'll just skip over that last match. Ryback versus Rusev. He loses cleanly in a 1-2-3. That's it. Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens. You had said that Kalisto against him would be a good match. I argue with that point now. Yes.
Not always right, okay? Not always right.
Another jobbers match. That's 2 in one night. And it didn't even feature Ryback. That's the thing. It was just a match where Kevin Owens came out and kicked the crap out of somebody.
Which, I mean, I don't mind that. I can watch Kevin Owens, pummel someone all day long, and Kalisto knows how to take it. And there were some great moments. Then again, there was also that bit where, Kalisto leaps to the outside, and he's going to do something to Owens, and just kind of falls through Owens' arms, and it was just kind of, well, that's a botch.
Yeah. Well, didn't Kevin Owens do the same thing early in the match? He looked like he was going to jump over the rope too, and he kind of stopped and rolled underneath the bottom rope.
Yeah, same kind of deal.
I'm sorry, but the Lucha Dragons now to me are a joke. Yeah. They are. They're becoming. I don't even know who to compare them to. That's the thing. They're becoming their own worst nightmare.
I'd say the Spirit Squad, but that was intentional.
Right. So. All right. We've reached Mount Doom.
All right.
We have
Get
reached
your
the point.
flame retardant comments ready.
Brie Bella and Alicia Fox versus the Divas champion Charlotte versus Becky Lynch.
Now, I couldn't imagine how you could possibly have anything to complain about.
I'm not complaining about this match in general. I'm complaining about the whole Divas revolution in general.
It's been such a well-executed program.
You can't even look at me straight while saying that.
No, I can't. No, I have to gaze sorrowfully into my microphone and hide the tears.
Michael Cole, JBL, and Byron Saxton are now calling Team NBC.
Yeah, that hurt.
Oh,
Not
can
gonna
they
lie.
say that? Is USA part of the
don't-
NBC Universal team?
I guess they can say it.
If they're not, I smell a lawsuit coming.
I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know, but at the same time, it was kind of like whether or not you legally have the ability. No.
Yeah, I have no notes on this match. It was an okay match. It was a pretty straightforward match to me.
Nothing too
Yep.
sterling.
Brie and Alicia defeat Charlotte and Becky Lynch.
That's not what we're going to talk about.
Oh, here's the thing. The Divas Revolution began in July 13th, with the debut of Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte, which on paper first blew my mind. I was excited for these girls to come up and show us what they've got.
Then
Their purpose, was to bring a whole new kind of new life to the rapidly dying Divas division. Before these three girls came up, there was a match with Paige and Emma versus the Bella Twins. Do you know how long that match lasted?
Oh God, I can't remember.
30 seconds. 30 seconds that match lasted.
Wow.
So you had to change something. It prompted the Twitter conversation hashtag Give Divas a Chance. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The whole thing Paige started, and honestly,
I recall.
I tweeted it out because I agree. You need to give these women a chance to prove themselves. This is not 1985. This is not even the 1990s.
Well, I mean, hell, 85, they were giving them more of a chance. I mean, for crying out loud, WrestleMania 1 with Cyndi Lauper, the women's title belt, they made a huge deal out of that. That had lengthy match, tons of hype and build up. You had a big celebrity guest. It was the first ever WrestleMania. So, I mean, for crying out loud, 1985 is more progressive than 2015.
Here's the question I have for you. What exactly is being revolutionized?
My ability to not give a crap.
That's the thing. The stereotypical image that is engraved in most WWE fans' minds about women being featured in situations and matches that show off their beauty and their assets more than their talents.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's bothering me. For decades, the women in WWE were treated more as a
I can't.
eye candy and novelty than like legitimate athletes.
Which, I mean, depending on when you're looking at it, okay, like Attitude Era. I mean, let's face it, that was pretty much targeted at every single human being's internal 16-year-old boy.
Right.
I mean, is it necessarily something to be proud of? Some moments, definitely not, but at least you could understand it. There was some kind of a bizarre consistency to it. Now, it's just kind of...
Well, and to that point, the matches in the Attitude Era, the bra and panties match, the pillow fight match.
At least stuff happened.
Right, but, those matches were placed in between two important matches, say the title or the World Heavyweight Championship match and...
Like the Intercontinental.
Right. So audiences could,
chill out.
Take a breather, go to the bathroom,
Relax.
go get something to eat.
Yeah.
But now you've got three actually good and talented women in the WWE and tons more in the NXT division. And that can give a legitimate and actual revolution feel to this industry.
Oh, God, yeah, easily.
And
actually have it be something that changes the industry, because it's like, as much as I love Lucha Underground, yeah, they allow men and women to, wrestle all the time, and they could have a female world champion. They're on a specialty network. They're not exactly going to be making the biggest waves. WWE decides, hey, we're going to throw two women in the main event of, our developmental shows, special takeover program. Everyone explodes.
And going
something
off
that WWE does would change.
We're coming off of NXT TakeOver Respect. Every match in WWE NXT TakeOver Respect, albeit they were amazing matches,
Oh, God, yeah.
overshadowed by the main event, an Iron Man match with two women wrestlers. That's the thing. This is the first match of its kind. And it's, this match alone, I think, is the actual start to the legitimate Divas Revolution.
Oh, God, yeah. Easily.
You've even got Asuka. I almost said her name wrong again.
Yeah.
You've got Asuka as well, who came to NXT pretty much to help the image and get the idea of women wrestling is not what it used to be across.
Oh, yeah.
So, for these tag team matches and these...
For this kind of crap to still exist.
Is ridiculous. I'm sorry. We have been forced to suffer through these Team PCB, Team Bella, Team Bad, Team PCB versus Team Bella.
Versus whoever. You wind up not giving a crap after a
You
certain
are
point.
burying Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch into these teams. And it's time that these teams be broken up. And you need to actually start a Divas Revolution.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for crying out loud, you know what I actually forgot last night?
What?
Completely forgot that Charlotte's Divas champion.
Right.
Just completely, I'm sitting there watching her. She comes out with the belt, and I might as well have been staring at a blank spot.
Right.
She might as well have just been wearing her trunks, and that's it. And it's just, Bayley comes out, anyone comes out, even thinking about the NXT women's title, and you just sort of like, I can smell it. I
Right.
know it's here. Divas title comes out. Sorry. It kind of looked like, the design on one of their butts or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So this whole Divas Revolution is a joke. So
Say it.
I'm sorry, people can disagree with me, but we're off of Mount Doom now. That's all it's ridiculous. So our main event for Monday Night Raw. The lumberjack match.
So, the authority said that I, Gerald Corporate Kane, cannot be your opponent. So clearly this means, dun, 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 it's going to be the Demon Kane, because nobody saw that coming.
He replaced himself with himself.
At this point, I think I think this started out as, okay, no, really, we're going to give Kane multiple personalities. You know what? maybe we can make this work. We can make this intimidating. We can make it funny. We can make it a teeny bit of both, like, the Team Hell No thing. Yeah, and then somewhere along the line they went, what would be really funny is if it wasn't multiple personalities and Kane was just kind of being a dick.
Right.
And it's just...
It worked for about a week.
It did, and I was like, this is funny. This is going to work. You guys will see I was wrong. I was so wrong it hurts.
We're not going to spend much time on this. Everything mounted into mass chaos. The New Day would drag Demon Kane out from the match.
Beat the crap out of him.
Beat the crap out of him, and then everyone would start beating the crap out of everybody else.
And for crying out loud, Demon Kane, one guy, gets the crap kicked out of him multiple times by multiple people. Does he lose the match?
No. He wins.
At this point, it's sort of like when people's like, you know what? I'm tired of Seth Rollins. He's an excellent wrestler. He's a great promo.
This is the
But
point.
right now, dear God, I'm surprised. If you tried to tell me that the character knows how to eat soup, I would want you to tell me that he needs to wear water wings. Because it's just, come on.
See, that was the point where the New Day dragged out Kane as everybody started kicking the crap out of each other. I thought the Authority was going to show up there.
Yeah.
And just restore order. But no, everything amounted into chaos, and Raw and the way Raw ended did not make any sense. I'm sorry. Yeah, you tombstone Seth Rollins, and that could be how Hell in a Cell ends. Great, except you had everybody kick the crap out of each other, then everybody else fled the ring, and Seth Rollins is laying there, and Kane tombstones him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and on top of that, it honestly winds up not making any sense because they've very clearly gone about this storyline of basically the Authority, if Kane screws around too much, they'll hate him. Well, he's screwed around to the point that they can't stand him. They don't really like Seth Rollins, but at the same time, it's like, well, we picked him, we got to stick with it. He's screwing around with their guy.
Yeah.
Why don't they? No, really. I know you can always just go, oh, there's some random reason you can come up with, or because wrestling. But no, really, in this instance, why don't they just can him? Why don't they just fire him?
And that's
when
That may lead
wrestling
me to
fans are
believe-
making the "why don't you just fire him" excuse,
Right.
when they're making that complaint, things have hit the absolute bottom.
And that's why I think Seth Rollins is going to win at Hell in a Cell. I think we've seen the end of Kane.
Which is pathetic.
If that's how it goes out, oh boy.
I mean, I just have that mental
There's
image
a
from my childhood of him ripping the cage apart. And it's just like, oh my God, that's so cool. Years later, oh, yeah, Team Hell No, that's actually really funny. A couple years later, wow, just old Yeller him already.
There's a sternly worded email coming if that's how it ends.
Oh,
So
God.
that's how Monday Night Raw ends. Out of 10, what do you give Monday Night Raw?
I want my money back and I didn't even pay for it.
Oh God. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna calm down. We're gonna
Detox.
we're gonna detox here. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about NXT and the number one contender for the NXT title. That's next on the Squared Circle.
Live and in living color. So, are you doing that in the ring? You have a very interesting story. But whose idea was it to film that? Are you just harsh on yourself? Talk about how you got into the business. So they think you're mad at them. Traveling all over the world. I got a serious question for you now. How was the adjustment to normal life? I got to do this.
The next stop on Brock Lesnar's Go to Hell tour is one-on-one with a Texas rattlesnake. The live Stone Cold Podcast with special guest, the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Next Monday, immediately following Raw, only on WWE Network. Go to WWENetwork.com and start your free month now.
We are back here on the Squared Circle on Spreaker.com, also on iTunes. All right, I think we're good now. We've taken a little bit of a breather, detoxed from Monday Night Raw.
Detox.
Yeah.
Retox, depending on how much alcohol I really need to put in my system after that one.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, NXT this week had a number one contendership battle royal for the NXT number one contendership for the NXT title.
Which, if you want me to love your wrestling promotion, you just need to have those two words, Battle Royal, happen at some point, and it'll be, I can't look away. Part
Yeah.
of me wants to. I have bills and my house is on fire, but Battle Royal.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, NXT TakeOver starts with my girl, women's champion, Bayley.
And a new challenger.
Oh, God. I hope this...
Not a
doesn't-
fan of Miss Bliss?
You know, if...
Sparkle Splash.
Oh, God.
Is this going to be another Ruru for you?
Oh, my God. I told you never to say that on this program.
The commandments have been broken.
But the fact that, you know, when Alexa came out and she stole the title from Bayley, she goes behind Blake and Murphy. I just wanted Bayley to kick their ass. I'm sorry. That would have been
know.
hilarious.
Oh, yeah, and I kind of like the fact that at this point they're starting to eventually lean on that pole point of, you know, even if we're never going to have them fight, they're still, you know, still on the same keel. Like, you know, calling someone, you know, a guy wrestler, calling him, like, you know, a chick or something like that. Eventually that won't be an insult, but at the same time, she still has to run behind her two boyfriends.
Right. So
I loved it. It's a great little heel tactic, and it's just...
it was a great little heel moment. It was a great little interaction between Alexa Bliss and Bayley. And that's the thing. You know, we have just this little thing, this 5-minute confrontation between Alexa Bliss and Bayley, better than anything that was on Monday Night Raw.
Well, for starters, you could, even if you'd never watched anything of NXT, wrestling, whatever, just watching this little bit. Just sitting there. I mean, obviously there'd be some stuff you'd be confused and lost on, but you'd probably could tell me who Bayley is as a character. You know, same with Bliss, same with Blake and Murphy, and they barely said anything. You get the dynamics of what's going on, and you'd understand where things are moving. And that's without any sort of context. I mean, 5 minutes.
Their characters are well defined in NXT, as in WWE for Monday Night Raw.
Sometimes you don't even have a character.
Yeah, you have people that are heel, face, and a new term that the internet created called Hace, pretty much defining Big Show.
Yeah.
But, you know, this little 5-minute interaction was fun, you know? Especially, you know, I don't like Alexa Bliss. I love Bayley. But I thought it was a very good confrontation from Alexa Bliss. Kind of a challenge for the NXT Women's Champion. So, maybe we'll see their match. Is there another takeover planned yet? Or
I think there's some with the UK.
oh yeah, NXT takeover in London.
Not you want.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
I mean, not every show needs to be the biggest. So
No.
as long as it's good, I'll still
Yeah.
watch.
You know, our first match of NXT is the NXT tag team match with the champions, the Vaudevillains, against the Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton. Do I know these people? I don't remember them.
Fulton. I remember. It's one of those things where I remember them, but I don't. I mean, I definitely easily remember the Vaudevillains. I mean, they're the champs,
yeah.
and I love them. The other ones, I know I've seen them. I know I've seen them wrestle, but it's like this white cardboard cutout in my mind doing the moves. I don't know if that's their fault or if it's mine or if it's the show's or what, but it's just something's not sticking out in my... While it was happening, I kind of felt myself going, I want to know who these guys are, but I also am way too lazy to pull my phone out and go.
So this match was pretty clean, pretty straightforward. The Vaudevillains would win on the Whirling Dervish, one of my favorite move names ever.
Oh, God, yes.
And they would pick up the victory.
Hell,
1, 2, 3.
Hell, I still clap like a little baby seal every time the crowd starts chanting chivalry. Chivalry, chivalry.
And we are manly.
That was okay. I need to stop now before this is taken over.
We're just going to be chanting the rest of the podcast.
Say that like it's a bad thing. Anyway.
So we move on to the long-awaited premiere of Nia Jax.
I was definitely excited for this one. Those promo, like I am Nia Jax. I mean, all right, what is she going to be like? She's dressed like the magic carpet from Aladdin. I have seen far worse ring attire.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't do a whole lot, Nia Jax. I mean, there was...
She is,
I'm
is
hesitant
Nia
to
Jax from somewhere else? This is
Yeah, she's like The Rock's cousin.
Okay, that makes
she's
much
one
more
of the
sense to me.
Anoa'i family.
She's I don't mean this in any disrespect to her, but she's a bigger woman than a lot of the divas. Probably actually of all the divas.
Oh yeah, I kind of dig that because if they really want to do the whole, we want to have a women's revolution.
Feature all kinds of women in all walks of life.
I mean, it's like you look at the guys. I mean, yeah, you've got like a little beanpole type guy like Adrian Neville, but then you've got Kevin Owens,
Bull
and
Dempsey,
and Kevin Owens, Bull Dempsey, Rusev, John Cena. All four of those guys are huge. Not all for the same reason.
right?
You got the little guys. So I'm fine with it. And again, I've definitely seen some people, especially online, going, "Wow, she's really fat." My response to that is, the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I mean, I'm sorry. Pro wrestling's kind of made for bigger people, regardless of how they're big. I mean, there's something inherently impressive about, regardless of where your mass is coming from, if you've got a lot of it and you can make it move.
Right.
And again, my only issue here is I don't feel like we saw enough of her. Like, I couldn't even necessarily say, oh, she's like she's a mat technician or she's like a power wrestler. Well, she certainly is herself, and that's definitely not a bad thing, but it's not like a lot to go on.
Right. So
I'm waiting for next week. If they do it.
she'll probably do something a lot more not more interesting, but more
Just more.
storyline-ish kind
Well, I
of.
don't necessarily even need that. It's just a little bit more of what she does in the ring.
Right. So we'll be looking forward to Nia Jax. Of course, she won her first match, as everybody does in anywhere.
And let's face it. I mean, I hate to I hate to be that person. Regardless of how great she is, she's gonna have to struggle a little bit with that. Oh, of course you won. You're The Rock's cousin.
Right. The whole family breeds.
Yeah, and it's
Immediate.
one of those things where, hey, if you want everyone to be treated equal and fair, we gave that crap to Roman Reigns.
Right.
So I mean,
And he was hated by everyone for a long time, and now he's kind of picking up steam.
yeah,
He's
so-
actually working towards actually deserving something.
Now, I do have to bring up something for me a little heartbreaking. Did you know about Devin Taylor?
No.
Okay, she's the little, backstage interview person. She's the one that Dana Brooke always pats on the head condescendingly.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she let go from
She
NXT?
was, and for me, the real heartbreaking thing of it is, well, first off, they have a couple of shows taped with her on it, so it's kind of like, dear God, please leave the memories alone.
Right.
But then on the other hand, it's sort of like deep down, I always really wanted, like I was hoping, because I'd heard she had some in-ring training, so I was just sort of hoping one of these days Dana Brooke goes and pats her on the head, and she just snaps and just arm bars her and wrecks her.
I would
and now
give anything to see that.
I will never get that, and I will be denied this forever. And
Yeah.
my world is a little darker.
So, not a lot going on in NXT this week because of the main event.
True.
Of the Battle Royale. That ate up
And again,
more than half.
Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Clapping like an idiot, and we haven't even gotten real to it, really.
Oh, yes. We get to the Battle Royal for the NXT #1 contendership for the NXT Championship.
I couldn't love this Battle Royal anymore if I actually wanted to.
Oh, there were some big names that were eliminated early.
You know what? I was fine with that. I'm okay with that as long as the eliminations make sense.
Right.
I mean, sometimes if someone's a big enough name, you got something like this going on. If they're big enough and they're just settling into being that big, don't even put him in there if you're not going to commit to putting him in to winning, into the finish at the very least. Daniel Bryan. But something in my throat. Worst decision. Anyway, but this was a situation they didn't have to worry about that. There was no problem there. I mean, it's like, oh, they shouldn't have eliminated Samoa Joe. You know what? I like Samoa Joe. I like Tyler Breeze. I never in a million years would have thought that's who NXT is going to have feud. But honestly, it's something I didn't know I wanted.
Right.
And there were all those little nods here and there, like, oh, like a little nod to, it's like previous continuity or hell, so just mixing up with Corbin there. I was, like I was talking to you before, though, my only real issue is that I'm fine with the finish. Cruz winning, he's
Apollo
great.
Crews wins. He eliminates Baron Corbin for the win.
But it's one of those things of, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I would have rather seen Baron Corbin just because there's something established there, and he's been getting a lot better. He's got who he is down in NXT. With Apollo Crews, he's really good. I'm sure this will be fun.
The thing is, we talked about this before the show. Is Apollo Crews? Yes, he is new. He's a very new person to NXT. he's also very good.
Oh, yeah.
And he hasn't been forced down the universe's throat
No.
like, say, Roman Reigns when
Yeah.
he, was first after the whole thing with the Shield. He was crammed.
Oh, yeah. That
down
was the biggest issue. It's just, it was too much. He was
Right.
too hot.
He was taken to the top, not too quickly, but in a way that didn't really make any sense.
No. Did not work.
Apollo Crews doesn't really have a quote unquote established story with anyone. So the fact that to your point with Baron Corbin, he's going to have a feud with Rhino again because Baron Corbin eliminated Rhino during the Battle Royale.
It's true. I did like the whole, saving him. Nope.
Yep.
I kind of dug that.
So I think the whole thing with Apollo Crews winning the contendership,
Yeah.
it'll work. They'll make it work. That's the thing. NXT will make anything work.
Oh God, yeah, that is. It's so nice to say that because I could say that about Lucha Underground, but they film that thing like a regular TV show.
Right.
They're on their season break right now,
Mm-hmm.
so literally the only wrestling show I have in the world where I can go, you know what, I have enough faith in this, I can trust them, is NXT. But in the back of my mind, there's always that they're owned by the same company that you really can't trust.
Right.
So
that's how NXT ends. We're going to take one more break. We're going to come back. We're going to do a little bit of preview of Hell in a Cell. I don't know, buddy.
hey, it's going to be a show.
Yeah, it'll be something. We'll talk about it next, right here on the Squared Circle.
What a fantastic night it is tonight. I want to take a second to talk about something. Oh, trust me, you're going to have plenty of time later on to tell me how you feel about me. But right now, we're going to talk about something that's going to make everybody in here very, very proud because it has to do with you. Because of your help. Because of your support. For the 4th year in a row now, WWE has the honor of partnering with Susan G. Komen to fight breast cancer and save lives. October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as you can see, the WWE has once again gone pink to show its support for everyone fighting this disease. I love coming back to Boston because to me, it's a chance to come back home. I was raised in a small town a couple exits off of 95 called West Newbury, Massachusetts. I see my bro, and I see his daughter, and I see my dad in the front row, and I get a very, very special feeling every time I come here. So it gives me great honor tonight to do something extra special. I get to stand in this ring with people whose fighting spirit makes them true champions, makes them real heroes. So WWE Universe in Boston, how about you join me in giving a warm, warm welcome to our breast cancer survivors here in attendance with us tonight.
We are back here on the Squared Circle on Spreaker.com, also on iTunes. Let's talk a little bit about Hell in a Cell, my friend Max. What are you thinking about Hell in a Cell?
Well, it's gonna be a show.
It's going to be a pay-per-view.
Oh God,
I don't know. You and I were talking about this before.
I'm
the
looking
break.
forward to Lesnar Taker.
Yes, that's about the only match on the card that actually has people intrigued.
I think, and I mean, I'm actually interested in the story they're telling with that one. I think it's actually going to be a good match. I'm also a little bit afraid because, I mean, last 2 times they hooked up, what happened? Taker couldn't walk up under his own power, so I'm just a little worried there. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely interested in it. I'm excited for it, but other than that, I mean, I mean, I guess Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, just for it being a virtue of it being in the cell, that should be at least fun. I can't think of a single damn thing after that, though.
Yeah. Well, let's go over some matches. Again, these are preliminary. These are matches that are either confirmed to happen or are pretty much planned to happen. Pre-show match, Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper and Braun Strowman.
I think we covered that pretty well.
You want to just move on?
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to.
The Intercontinental Championship, Kevin Owens versus
The Ryback.
not Ryback, the Ryback.
Well, if the Ryback doesn't eat the finish, I'm going to burn down the WWE. Nothing against Ryback, but we need to make the belt worth something. People like Kevin Owens, we can give Ryback something else to do. I'm familiar with this substance called a milk bone. I'm sure that'll keep him preoccupied for a little while. I don't need anything else.
Standard rematch clause. This match is all but guaranteed to happen.
Yeah.
It's something that, they've been dragging out for the last month.
I really, really not the biggest fan of the rematch clause thing. I've always been more of a fan of the old 30-day rule, defend it every 30 days. If you don't, you're stripped of the title. If you lose, well, that's it. Back to the back end of the line.
Back to square one.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. It gave that, that title win something, a lot of finality. Now it's like, Daniel Bryan, he finally won the title. That's great. Randy Orton's got another shot at it.
Yeah. All right, tag team match. The New Day versus the Dudley Boys.
I do love my New Day, but the Dudleys really need to win because they're not going to put a heel team over clean because that is apparently against the bylaws of the universe or something. So the only other option is to put the Dudleys over, but they can't do a Dusty finish because they did that, and they can't do a DQ because they've done that, and they know
twice.
Twice, and if they do either one of those again, somebody's going to die.
I will burn the WWE down if they
couldn't
lose
blame
in
you at that
DQ
point.
again.
I couldn't blame you at that point. I would feel like doing it.
All right, buddy. Divas. Charlotte versus Nikki Bella. Can we just add Sasha Banks to this match, please? Can you and I just call somebody up at the WWE and
I'm
say,
just picturing just in my head right now, just Charlotte and Sasha super kicking her, and she falls unconscious, and then it's just 15 straight minutes of Charlotte versus Sasha, and it's just that's all I can think of right now. My brain just goes to this really happy place full of rainbows and joy.
another standard rematch clause?
Yeah,
match.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I certainly hope Charlotte retains. I think if she loses, I might eat my own face in hate and rage, but I mean, and a little bit of confusion. I got nothing else.
Yeah, I got nothing else for that match.
As long as Charlotte doesn't lose,
Charlotte better retain. If Nikki Bella regains that Divas title belt, I will lose all respect for the Divas division.
Yeah,
I will.
dead
And I
in the
love
water.
the Divas division. But
at that point,
it's I'm done.
What do you do?
Yeah, right. Our first Hell in a Cell match. This one, of course, confirmed. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt.
Like I said, could be good. I'm down with it just because Bray's a good wrestler. Roman is capable of being in a good match. It's Hell in a Cell. I'm a fan of Hell in a Cell. I mean, there's some issues with the story that I have personally, like the whole, it's just down to us, we'll finish it. What about your friends? But I'm willing to give this, maybe it's just desperation, I'm willing to give this one the benefit of the doubt. I'm not necessarily excited going into it, but...
It'll be a physical match.
Oh, yeah.
We saw that on Raw last week.
Okay, I hate to say it, but these are two really young guys. I mean, I think Roman's 29. They're both in really great shape. They've both been doing this for a good while. I hate to say it. Rough each other up a little bit. I hate to be that kind of person. Just, I'm not
put each other out of contention for a few weeks even, be it just literally kick the crap out of each other until one of you stops breathing.
It's sort of I'm not, you don't need to go, mental with it. I'm not saying, okay, Roman, do you remember how you felt about halfway through the WrestleMania match with Lesnar where it felt like your ribs were going to explode? Stop a step before that.
Right. All right. World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Demon Kane.
I'm not even going to lie. I honestly thought this was going to be a third Hell in a Cell match. I honestly, for a little bit, they're wait a minute. Because I remember when they were first starting to do this a little bit, I'm like, wait a minute. Roman and Bray, Lesnar and Taker, they only ever do 2 of these. Wait, oh, God, they're not going to have 3, are they? That would be stupid. Oh, it's a normal singles match. Wait, so you've got the Demon Kane involved in a World Heavyweight title match at Hell in a Cell, and it's not Hell in a Cell? That's stupid. But
that would make the match, I think, more interesting.
I know, but at the same time, I hate to say it. The biggest issue I've had with Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view is, why are we doing Hell in a Cell? It's October. And that's it. With this is the first time since, like, the only other time in recent memory I can think of would probably be, like, the end of an era, Taker versus Triple H match at WrestleMania, was it 28?
Right.
I can talk. That match and then these 2 are the first ones where it's felt like, well, why are they doing a Hell in a Cell match? Because of these storyline reasons. Why are Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt about to, kill each other in a cell? Because they hate each other and they are both sick and tired of each other and sick of this feud. Why is the other Hell in a Cell match? Because these 2 people just despise each other. I mean, humiliate each other on national television. It's a matter of pride. I hate to say it. Well, why would you be throwing Rollins and Kane into a Hell in a Cell match, given the story as it is? Because Kane's a demon because he wears a red mask.
Make this match a Hell in a Cell match, because Rollins is scared to death of Kane, and he will run away.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, Rollins runs away from everything.
That's true.
But
that's the thing.
He probably run away from me.
He can't run away if he's in a cell.
I don't know. I mean, they've said that before, like, they can never get out of the cell, and then they proceed to get out of the cell, and then back into cell, and then through the cell, and it's a very negotiable structure.
Who do you want to win this match?
Oh, Kane and Rollins? Oh, my God.
Johnny on the spot.
Oh, God. I mean, like, on the one hand, it's like, well, if Kane gets it, that'd be kind of cool. You get a little of the nostalgia pop, gets it off of Rollins, who just, dear God, needs some character rehab. But then on the other hand, if Kane wins, he's 2015 Kane beating Seth Rollins, and it's just...
Do we see Sheamus cash in?
The problem is, I mean, he cashes in. Either way, we get that one result that just kind of makes you claw your eyes out for about a good 3 seconds. And then you stop clawing your eyes out because the most boring, pale thing imaginable, the pale horse of boredom, it's long forgotten 5th horseman of the apocalypse, shows up and just murders your entertainment.
They haven't done anything with Sheamus regarding the Money in the Bank contract. Last year when Seth Rollins was holding the briefcase,
that was a huge deal.
Every week, or every other week, Seth Rollins would be like, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm going to be future World Heavyweight Champion.
That's all the best Money in the Bank runs. Even if you didn't like the wrestler in particular, the best ones were always the ones where they just were a heel and never let you forget it, and that they used it. Like, when The Miz had it, I swear to God, by the time that thing was over, it had like $50 and Daniel Bryan's head in it. I mean, it just...
Seth Rollins last year paraded around Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, any single conceivable pay-per-view saying, I'm going to be WWE Champion, and you've got Sheamus, Mr. Money in the Bank, in a goddamn tag match with King Barrett. Go home. You're drunk.
What are you doing?
All right. Your last Hell in a Cell match that's pretty much confirmed. The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
See, this one...
A match has been leading up to for weeks and for months.
I don't know where this is going to go, but it's in a good sense.
Right.
Because it's just... Because I've heard so much, like, oh, if Taker wins, that damages Lesnar. How does losing to The Undertaker damage anyone?
The fact that you're stepping into a Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker, by and large, by itself.
Yeah.
You have my respect.
Yeah, like the only Hell in a Cell match featuring Taker that I've seen... No, there's 2. There's 2 Hell in a Cell matches featuring The Undertaker where it's kind of like nobody walked away from this looking better. And that was, I think it was Hell in a Cell 2009 or 2010 where I can't remember which one it was. He fought Kane. And then that one at WrestleMania 15 where he hung Big Boss Man.
Yes.
Like those were 2 where he just kind of like, you know what? His opponent didn't look good. Neither did he. But It's kind of like modern day context. I don't know. The only thing I'm a little afraid of is Taker's getting up there, and he's been falling down a lot after these matches. Like, I want a good match. I want a good Hell in a Cell match. I want something that you can remember Taker for. But I don't want to have it be, well, Taker's retiring. Oh, because that was such a great match? No, because he physically has to. I don't want to hear that news, you know?
Right. So we will talk more about it next week. You know, Hell in a Cell still 10 days out. We've still got a lot of time left for anything to happen. We've got Monday Night Raw in Dallas, Texas on Monday.
Don't remind me.
I wonder if they bring in the Texas Rattlesnake just to bring up TV ratings. I'm sorry.
It would work at least in the local area for it.
Bring in Stone Cold Steve Austin. The whole thing would just...
It's cheap, but...
The pop that they would get in Dallas for Stone Cold, you'd hear that glass shatter. Oh my God, people would be peeing their pants.
Well, oh my God, I remember... Yeah, it was 2011. It was in the build-up to... WrestleMania 27. Oh God, it was in the build-up to that. And I just remember at one point, like, JBL is in the ring and he's going to sign this thing with Michael Cole, and then all of a sudden the glass shatter sound effect goes off, and that is like the only pop that I've heard in recent years that got that close would be like once or twice for Daniel Bryan,
right?
Which, you know, with that beard, he might as well just be Wrestling Jesus. So,
right.
I mean, you're not going to get much bigger. And Stone Cold, it's guaranteed. It's like, hey, Stone Cold's on TV. Well, I've got to watch for at least the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it more next week. We'll also recap Monday Night Raw, NXT from next week. Hopefully Monday Night Raw is a lot better than it was this week, because I'm sorry.
God, please.
It was hard to watch. So that is going to do it for the Squared Circle here on Spreaker.com. Also on iTunes. We will be back in 7 days to recap Monday Night Raw, NXT, and preview Hell in a Cell coming up on October 25th, 8, 7 Central on the WWE Network. So until then, my friends, we'll see you next week. Later.